Tahith Chong joins Werder Bremen on loan. So he's 20 years old, his loan spell is about 1 year, and this is his first real loan spell, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. Bremen were a team that struggled massively last season, and technically they got relegated, but they won their relegation playoff game, so they stayed up. Chong made 5 Premier League appearances last season with no goals and no assists, which is pretty awful, and he plays a right wing. So, what would make a successful loan spell? I think there's about 34 games in a Bundesliga season. If Chong can play in half of those games and get a couple of goals and a couple of assists, that'll be a good season. Man United's recently loaned players, Joel Pereira, who last season played in the Scottish League. He played about 20 league games with Hearts, which is quite good, I think. There's also Cameron Bothwick Jackson. He actually went to 2 teams on loan in League Two, and but he only played 6 league games, which is pretty shocking for League Two standard. Like that's really bad. Um, and then there's some other players that are at the club or were at the club last season. Axel Tuanzebe, he made 3 Premier League appearances last season, which is pretty bad as well. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he had 3 Premier League games last season as well, which is just awful. That's really bad from these guys. And then there's James Wilson, who isn't on the books anymore. He signed for Salford City last season, and he played 5 league games with 2 goals and 1 assist, which for League Two standard isn't great. It's actually pretty shocking, but that's how some of these players have done. Not all these players, perform that well, even at lower leagues. But let's see what happens with Tahith Chong next season.